What's up, everybody? Another day, another road, and another story. I love it. I am at Randall McCoy's old home site. And as far as, old Hatfield-McCoy feud sites go, this is absolutely one of the top few for sure.
The Randall McCoy homestead and well, located in Hardy, Kentucky, is one of the most significant surviving landmarks connected to the Hatfield-McCoy feud. Now belonging to Hatfield descendant Bob Scott, the property was once home to Randall McCoy and his family during the most violent years of the famous conflict. The homestead became part of history on New Year's Day, 1888, when a group of Hatfield's friends and relatives attacked the McCoy home. During the raid, the cabin was set on fire, forcing the family to flee into the winter darkness. In the chaos, two of Randall's adult children, Calvin and Alifair McCoy, were killed near the family well, and his wife Sarah was beat and never fully recovered. Randall escaped with his life, but the attack became one of the feud's most tragic and remembered events. Although the original house no longer stands, the historic McCoy well remains at the site. Just across the road from the homestead is the McCoy Cemetery, where Randall's sons Tolbert Farmer and Randolph Bud McCoy are buried. The three brothers were killed during the infamous Pawpaw Tree incident on August 9, 1882, when they were captured by members of the Hatfield family, tied to pawpaw bushes, and executed in retaliation for the Election Day killing of Ellison Hatfield. The site is located in Hardy, Kentucky, along Kentucky Highway 319 near McCarr in the Tug Fork Valley, the remote mountain region where much of the Hatfield-McCoy feud unfolded more than 140 years ago.
Randall's house, it sat right back in here, and from my understanding, I was told that his barn used to set down right in here where this house is. So all of this down through here would have been Randall McCoy's home place and his front yard right over here, and you would have had a little dirt road going right down through here, a little for horse and buggies. But we'd heard that they've done a little bit of remodeling, gave the place a little bit of a facelift, and we thought we would bring you guys out here and kind of show you around a little bit. Beautiful day, beautiful weather, kind of warm, but hey, it's summertime, you got to expect that. And at least on the bright side, where I'm out here, like I said, another day, another road, at least I have a bathroom this time. So that's a plus. But we're going to walk out here and kind of check the place out and just show you around a little bit, that kind of thing. It's such a pretty day to do it. Now, for those of you who have been here, who've came down here trail riding or just visiting historic sites, Neil over here is quite a little historian, and he knows all kinds of stuff, has all kinds of old papers and documentation and stuff like that. And the Bob Scott, the man that actually owns, the land that the house used to sit on, excuse me, he's heavily involved with Pike County tourism. So, it kind of goes hand in hand. But the place looks really good, doesn't it? I like those. That looks pretty good. The only rules: no feuding, no fussing. I actually know a little bit about the place. We've been here before, told stories about what happened. I've camped here before. Tent camped right over there. Matter of fact, but that's where the old house used to sit, right back there. And all of that would have been Randall's backyard. In his front yard, you have to imagine No buildings, no houses. Just his barn down here, the house over my left shoulder, and just pristine wilderness. Everything else. But that cold winter night, we know what happened here, don't we? And as pretty as the place is, you're looking at it now and it's really pretty and all that, and it's a beautiful day, and tourists come here and, look around and happy, and it's a positive thing. But, at the same time, you've got to remember what actually happened here. This is it's a reverent site. It demands a certain level of respect, we'll say. But back in there is where the kids went, where they went and hid. I've took you guys back there and showed you that before. And this would have been the site. And the old well, Randall McCoy's old well, still here. After all these years. Place looks really good, don't it? Very peaceful. But yeah, I camped out. I tent camped right over here. Or no, I was here, wasn't I? I was right in here. And we metal detected and found bullets, dug a hole, and found right in here, found little burned shards of wood. Very pretty though, isn't it? There's a statue, wood statue. Look at that. Of old Randall, or old Randall as he was known. Big old trees. You got to imagine they probably, more than likely, planted some of these trees here. The family themselves, Randall and the family themselves. You can see a row of pines, really tall pines that have been here for a really long time. And there really aren't a whole lot of pines around other than, those two rows on either side. So most likely, anyway, there's no way of knowing for sure. But most likely, those were set out by family members. Who knows? Randall himself. Old Randall himself could have set them pine trees out for all we know. But I went back in there. It's called the head of the branch, is where the kids said that they went and hid. The creek is what it meant, the head of the creek. And I went back there and found a good hiding spot. I don't know for sure 100% if that would have been where they hid, but they would have had to have known about it. If I found it, they had to have known it was there, the little sunken spot. So, I don't know. If I was going to hide, that's probably be the first place I would have went. Because you could walk right by it and wouldn't even see me. You'd never even know I was there unless you looked right down in it. Strange history, isn't it? History's strange. Just the whole concept of it. Tourism these days, and, beautiful and pretty and all kinds of stories and things like that. And, the pigs, a hog trial reference. And, just things like that. But at the same time, just behind the surface, like I said, you know what happened here. That's talking about Polly Hollows, a distillery that uses the water from the well to make their moonshine using Randall McCoy's old recipe. Interesting idea, huh? Several old artifacts too that they found over the years. Stones from the foundation, from the old house foundation, and all sorts of things, which some of these would have been, no doubt, used by the family themselves for part of their house, no doubt. Almost certainly some of these stones were part of Randall McCoy's house. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? It's wild to think about that. That, you look at a piece of ground, look at your yard. It looks quiet, peaceful right now, but at one time something may have happened there, You never know. But that's like the Forbidden Cemetery where the boys are, that from when Ellison was killed, is right down here, and it's on the left. It's called the Forbidden Cemetery. It's visitation by family members by permission only. I thought we would bring you over here, and I'll stop by there, just to kind of show you the entrance, show you the sign, to the Forbidden Cemetery. It's amazing the history that's just all around you if you look, if you know where to look and what to look for. You'd be amazed how much history is actually all around you. Just amazing old stories of things that people did and things that happened a long time ago. Like that tree right there. A lot of people call those, something like that would be called a witness tree, because it was here and witnessed what happened to the house that sat right over here. This was right in front of it. Probably shaded the yard then too. But they've done a good job, haven't they? Bob and Pike County. I don't know if the county was involved or who was involved, but it looks really nice. Landscaping, flowers, looks really nice. I'm going to get out of here and head over. I'll show you the sign where the Forbidden Cemetery is. I caught a glimpse of it as I was coming up. Wanted posters. Alright, let's head out. We'll stop down there and show you that on the way out. I just happened to think as I was walking back down, I don't think I've ever shown the actual historical marker for the house right here beside the road. And like I said, that's where the barn was. Came down, there was a big old snake right down here in the creek. But there's also a marker over there. We'll check it out in just a second too. But site of Randall McCoy house. House was located on Blackberry Fork of Pond Creek. It burned January 1st, 1888 during a Hatfield raid. 2 of Randall's children, Alifair and Calvin, were killed in the attack. Their mother, Sally, was badly injured. Randolph and other children escaped. Site is part of the Hatfield-McCoy Feud Historic District. There's quite a bit more to it, obviously, than that, but quite a bit more to the story. But I just hadn't really shown those, I don't believe. But we'll go check that one out real quick. And there's nowhere to park down by the entrance to the Forbidden Cemetery, so I'll have to walk down there. Okay, this other one is the one that talks about the old cemetery that I was just referencing right here. The McCoy Cemetery. Among the graves in the McCoy Cemetery are those of Randolph McCoy's 3 sons, Tolbert, Farmer, and Randolph Jr., all killed by the Hatfields. Also buried here are Alifair and Calvin McCoy, who were killed by the Hatfields when the cabin was burned. The cemetery is part of the Hatfield-McCoy Feud Historic District. But it's right down there in that curve. And I'm going to go ahead here and walk on down there and show you where the entrance is. Show you the sign anyway. Alright, let's head on down that way. There it is. The notice and the entrance to the Forbidden Cemetery. Check that out. Notice, those related to the McCoy children buried in the McCoy Cemetery may visit on Memorial Day weekend and the 3rd weekend of September each year. No parking will be allowed on property. Limited access. No tours. We reserve the right to ask for proof of descendancy and time to verify it. This is within the court rulings concerning private cemetery visitation. Trespassers may be prosecuted. 6 exclamation points. You know, the graves are directly behind the house, so I do get it, you know. You don't want strangers just rolling up in your house all the time. Cool little piece of history. And right across the road, you can see where the brick house is. Randall's house would have been directly behind it. So this right here would have been, you know, that graveyard would have been, you know, looking directly across the creek and across the road from the house. So you can see why they're there. That was home. Very interesting sign, though, isn't it? Old and vines growing over it. Still a very interesting sign, though. Very interesting little piece of property. Very interesting little piece of history. Alright, let's head back on up to the car. Just gotta watch where you go and stay off the road. A little tight. If you know what I mean. Gotta switch sides a couple times. You just picture what this must have looked like, though. You know, the creek here, running by the house, Randall's back there, all this front yard, barn up that way, cemetery right up there on the hill. Like I said, overlooking the house. Alright, now let's head up to the car. Like I said, though, just imagine just a horse trail here, a dirt path, horses, buggies, and that's about it. One person drives by your house a month. But this was really nice when they lived here. Wild and free. Well, that was an easy day. I didn't even have to climb a mountain today. It was an easy one. Well, alright guys. I guess we brought you out, showed you the place, told you a little bit about the story, showed you around. I guess that's about it, isn't it? Alright, we will see you guys next time on Next Little Adventure. Until then, y'all have a really good day. Leo out.